Thanks for tuning into the Owl's Nest. Today, we welcome a special guest from the Houston Outlaws, Danteh, to talk about his 2020 season so far. That's coming up on today's Owl's Nest. Welcome back to our regulars, and hello to any new viewers. If this is your first time visiting the Owl's Nest, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. Turn on the bell for notifications and leave us some comments about how much you like the show. So today, we are welcoming a very special guest, one of my favorite players from, of course, my favorite team, Danteh from the Houston Outlaws. Danteh, welcome to the show. So looking back over this year and kind of comparing it to 2019, which for the majority was a lot of GOATs play, how do you feel the Outlaws did compared to last year? Do you feel like there have been a lot of improvements?
I think there's definitely been a lot of improvements. The record doesn't really show it, unfortunately. We have a very similar record to last year. I think a lot of maps have been close this year. There's only been a few matches where it wasn't really close. And I think last year we had a lot of matches that just weren't close. We've lost so many map 5s this season. A lot of just really close games in general. And yeah, I think there's definitely improvement, but obviously not enough improvement.
Well, and speaking of the record too, I was actually surprised when I went back and kind of looked at some of the numbers, because again, as a Outlaws fan myself and having watched every game that there's been since the beginning of the league, I thought this year you guys have looked a lot better. Jake, as a former Outlaws player yourself, and obviously having been with them last year, have you noticed any big differences or big improvements from their play compared to 2019 and the 2020 season?
Yeah, I think so. I think I think what's to what you're saying, Danteh, about the record not improving, I think that is just like the sort of surface level of like looking at the team, and like the team's success. And I think it has been clear, at least watching from the outside, and obviously being on the team last year, that things have gotten a lot better. Like it seems like people have been stepping up as individuals, but also as a team. And like you said, like so many close matches, and the fact that they're really close all the way through to the end. Obviously sometimes it doesn't go your way, but I think that's like the start of a good improving trend. And I think like pretty much every team improves every year. So to even have like the same record as last year, it actually means you are improving. Like if you didn't improve, then you would actually slide. Like if the same team from like last year, played the same, I think it would be a much worse record. And there wouldn't have been as many close games, like you said. So I think it's like, as long as you have that right mindset and keep, progressing on that level, I feel like the future is definitely bright. Like the trend is good, which obviously like I know how it feels as a player to just like, you just care about, like you just want to win and everything. But from the outside now, it's easier for me to see like, okay, there are a lot of like good signs to be excited about as a fan. So I think like it's normal for, a player, and for especially someone like you, I know that's really motivated. It's like hard to see that and to really appreciate that. But I really feel like it's been obvious that the team's like looked a lot better.
Yeah, for sure.
So Hero Bulls have been another ongoing trial throughout the season, and as a DPS player, how's it been managing that ever-evolving situation?
Personally, I enjoy Hero Pools a lot because you're playing a lot of different heroes every week. I guess not every week anymore because they change it to every 2 weeks. But the meta is constantly changing. And I think that's really fun as a DPS player because playing the same hero for a long time kind of gets boring when it's not the most fun hero. Like if it's a Mei meta or a Brig meta, it's not that fun as a DPS player. But obviously, like there's gonna be those metas, and you can't really do anything about it. But I think it's really enjoyable for players to like constantly be playing different heroes. Like I enjoy it a lot, at least. Not everyone's the same though. It's pretty stressful because you never know what the actual meta will be. You could find a comp 2 days before the match and you have to change your comp because you just scrimmed gladiators and then they have some secret comp that like no one knew about and they just found it, and then everyone switches to that comp last minute and there's just really low practice. So it's pretty stressful for players and coaches, but I do really enjoy it because it's just fun to play a lot of different heroes.
So did you prefer it more when it was, a different meta or a different hero pool every week, or do you like sort of the middle ground they found where the first 2 weeks are done in a hero pool and then the last 2 weeks in the tournament is done with the open hero pool?
I really like the 2 weeks because it gives you more time to develop these comps and stuff, because with the 1 week, you never really got to develop the meta and the comp. So a lot of times you weren't even playing the most optimal comp at the weekend matches, because normally how it goes, how a meta breaks down, is it's the initial meta for the first week, and then the meta kind of shifts. Maybe a couple heroes change, and more comps open up the second week. And then I'd say like third week is when you kind of perfect those comps, and you just keep on working on perfecting them. And yeah, I think every other week is really good change for the league.
So overall then, how do you think the game feels right now? I know that I saw you tweeting about how fun ranked is now with a lot of the recent changes that just came through with the most recent patch.
I am really enjoying the game right now. New patch. I feel like there's a lot of viable heroes now. I think the only role that really suffers right now is main tank, but I think a lot of supports are good, or maybe not a lot. I think Ana, Mercy, and Lucio are all strong supports. I think Brig has her place. She's not OP in every scenario, but she is still good against flankers and dive. So I think she has a good spot. I think hit scan's pretty solid. I think flankers are really good. I mean, flankers and hit scan are both really good. I even think Pharah's pretty good, new Pharah, because Mercy's a pretty strong pick in this meta. So you don't really have to have the liability of having a Mercy, because in previous metas, if the other team just had Brig, it was so hard to win, and you can't really play Brig Mercy. So I actually think Pharah is in a good spot since she's gotten a lot of buffs recently. For tanks, I think a lot of tanks are good except for main tanks. I think Zarya is good. I think Roadhog is good. I think Ball's good. I think Ryan can be good in some situations too. I think there's just a lot of heroes that are good, and it feels really enjoyable to play whenever a big meta shift happens, because we've been playing double shield for since Sigma released, like a year
forever
ago.
It seems. Yeah
like a year and a month ago. I don't really remember, but it's been basically a perma double shield meta for a while, and it feels really nice to shake things up.
All right, well, Danteh has been our guest here today on the Owl's Nest. Thank you so much for joining us, Danteh. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Danteh.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for watching the Owl's Nest, guys. Now, before you go, make sure you click that bell to subscribe to our channel and get all the notifications on the latest videos. And keep an eye out later for a little bit of theory crafting that we have coming later this weekend on what the meta might be going into the postseason. And make sure to catch the only show around about collegiate esports, Checkpoint XP on campus, the players, the schools, and the competitions. Watch right here on the YouTube or download and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow Jake at JakeOW on Twitter and Jake_OW on Twitch and YouTube. And Danteh, where can they find you on social media and on Twitch?
My Twitch is just Danteh with an H at the end. Twitter is Danteh with an H at the end. Instagram is Danteh with an H at the end.
All right, guys. Until next time, make sure that you stay on that payload.